If you ever hear anybody in the family doing Keenan, they're doing me do Keenan. 'Cause I'm always the guy who's always listening for that weird little quirk in your voice, and then when you leave, I'm doing you.
Sometimes I do Damon. Because Damon is different than Keenan. Damon more nasally in the way he talks.
Well, Keenan comes down like that. And Mom, Mom likes to talk fast. It's a crazy, fun, wonderful dynamic because we just sit around laughing all day.
Playing off each other.
Playing off each other.
For as long as comedy has existed, we've used it to laugh at ourselves, chuckle at our shared struggles, and connect over the sometimes hilarious, sometimes depressing life we've been handed. Comedy has been the most accurate mirror to the lives we live, taking taboo subjects and laying them out there for all to see. Black sitcoms have given us an opportunity to tune into the lives of characters who look like us and see the world through their twisted comedic eyes.
We're brothers, we're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five.
And if there's one family who has created a dynasty out of their skill to make people laugh, it's the Wayans. From political satire and In Living Color, to the complex family comedy of My Wife and Kids, to parody and Scary Movie, and kudos to them for getting away with white chicks. This one family has shown that they can put a smile on anyone's face while continuing to push the boundaries just to make us laugh.
Santa Claus is coming on Moms. Jingle balls.
Today on Cocoa Butters The Era, we explore the rise of the black sitcom through the eyes of Shawn Wayans, a member of one of comedy's most legendary dynasties, the Wayans family. Hey, hey.
What's up, girl?
You doing good?
Let's get my
What you
cocoa butter
doing?
on.
Okay, yes, you know that's right.
You know how you do.
Already.
You know how we do.
Already.
Always coming out of the
Out the
aisles
gate,
of
keeping
the,
you
of the
moisturized.
drugstore like this.
Is that what you do in the drugstore? As you're in the
we
drugstore.
but we don't actually buy the
Okay.
cocoa butter. We take a little scoop and
But you put the seal back
put
on,
the seal
right?
back on
Okay.
and come out shining.
Exactly, because we got to stay moisturized.
We shining. What's
Absolutely.
up, baby? How you doing?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thank you for being here. So what were some of your early comedic inspirations to get you some of like through those dark times?
We watched a lot of TV.
Okay.
You know, we always had the TV on. We was always watching. Me and Marlon was always watching Bugs Bunny or The Little Rascals, Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, Abbott and Costello, Bing Crosby, and Bob Hope. Watched a lot of Eddie Murphy. Watched a lot of Richard Pryor. So TV and films, you know, help us escape. And then just our crazy, big, funny family helped us escape.
Absolutely. Speaking of your big, funny, crazy family, your brother Keenan was around icons. Eddie Murphy, Robert Townsend. What effect did that have on you at an early age, being around so many legends?
From a little boy's perspective, you got to see your hero do what it was that he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
And that was very powerful, you know, to watch him actually make his dream come true. And I seen how he did it. And he was very generous with the information that he, you know, attained in that journey. And he always gave back and always was teaching, you know, me, Mullen, Damon, Kim, everybody in the family. He would teach us what he knew.
On April 15th, 1990, the first episode of Keenan Ivory Wayans' groundbreaking sketch show In Living Color finally aired after sitting on the show for 6 long months because the pilot had apparently offended some executives at Fox.
Did you know that food stamps cannot be used to buy alcoholic beverages? But how could I use that knowledge to work for me?
When the show ultimately debuted, it was a smash hit, forever altering the landscape of television. Along with making the Wayans family a household name, In Living Color helped launch the careers of Jamie Foxx, Jim Carrey, Jennifer Lopez, Larry Wilmore, and David Alan Grier. Shawn Wayans, the 9th of 10 Wayans siblings, was just a teenager when In Living Color launched, but was soon cast as DJ SW1.
DJ, do your thing. Be right back.
Shawn continued on In Living Color for 4 seasons before partnering with his brother Marlon on the WB sitcom The Wayans Brothers. You started off as a DJ.
Yeah.
And then you went on to be a cast member. What was that journey like? And then you went on The Wayans Brother, and there was such a creative, you know, difference that you went into. What was that journey like for you?
Well, In Living Color was my comedy college, me and Mullen's comedy college. You know, I started out as the DJ, but I also was a WGA trainee writer.
Wow.
So I got to sit in the room.
You were in there.
I was in there pitching ideas, laughing, you know, in places where I shouldn't have been laughing. You know, I was a kid, but, you know, I was blessed enough to be in that situation and actually learning how to put it all together. When Marlon joined on the show, me and him started writing sketches together, and a lot of stuff you've seen in the beginning that we did, me and him wrote. So, you know, the first sketch that we got on the air was the Def Jam sketch. It was a sketch where we made fun of Def Jam comedy, where the joke was the audience is crazier than the actual comics, you know what I mean? And, you know, that was the first thing we got on, and then we did Snuff and Rome and all those other little character pieces that we did. I'm a stand-up comic, and I was always doing stand-up back then. And I did a showcase for Lorimar Television, which is Warner Brothers TV studios now. They came to see me do stand-up, and based on that showcase, they put me under a holding deal to develop my own TV show. And they asked me, what do I want to do? And I said, I want to do a show with my brother Marlon. And Marlon had just done Mo Money.
Yes.
And so off of Mo Money, they seen the vision of us two together being crazy, and you know, me and Marlon created Wayans Bros.
Shawn and Marlon wrote the feature film Don't Be a Menace and would team up again to create the Scary Movie franchise, as well as White Chicks, a movie that opened up at #2 at the box office, bringing in over $19 million opening weekend alone. Wayans family members continue their TV legacy with My Wife and Kids, and most recently Marlon, proving they're not done making you laugh. In the 90s, it's no secret that a lot of white people were writing black shows. So how did you make sure that on your show, The Wayans Brothers, you maintained that authentic voice?
We fired a lot of people.
You were like, get out of here.
Well, kinda. They were trying to make us do, if you watch the show, when it first came on, you'll see the progression of how it got better and closer to what it was that we ended up doing. But when we first got on the show, me and Marlon hated it. You know, because we knew we had to live up to our family name, and they were coming to us with this corn, and we was like, yo, I don't care, y'all cancel me. I ain't ruining the family name. So me and like two of my guys, Devon Shepard and Phil Bowman, we totally rewrite the entire show and shoot the stuff that we thought was funny. And that was actually the stuff that actually ended up making the show better, because it was closer to the voice of the show. You know, Keenan used to have to talk us down off the building, because he'd come by the house and he'd be like, you guys don't let, this is just one show. You know, I know you guys want to do your show, but there's a better way to work out the process. And we were like, hey, you wasn't doing that on Living Color, brother. I appreciate you, but hey, look, man, we ain't going out like no suckers.
Oh my goodness.
You know, we fought, and we, you know, thank God, Warner Brothers supported our vision, and the rest is history. Wayans Brothers ended up turning out being okay.
Is it true that Keenan made you and Marlon rewrite Don't Be a Menace over 10 times? Is that true?
15 times.
15?
And it was...
Why do you keep having you do it?
To make it funnier, to make it right. You know, the first draft was written by me and Phil Bowman. First probably 10 drafts were written by me and Phil Bowman. And then Marlon came on, and he started rewriting with us. And, you know, he wanted to make sure it was right. It was our first time out the gate. It was a great idea. He seen the potential, and he wanted it to be everything that it could have been. And he's 100% right.
And you're able to have creative control and autonomy with your new animated series, Boo Crew.
Yeah.
It's catered towards children. So what's that funny look like when you're now catering to a new audience?
I grew up in a time where we were blessed enough to have wonderful shows like, you know, Fat Albert, Charlie Brown, Davy and Goliath. These shows really helped to shape me and my little brother as young guys growing up in New York. And taught us some really valuable lessons and put tools in our pockets to help us cope with different situations in life. And I wanted to do that for the next generation. You know, I'm a dad of 3. You know, my world changed, and I know that they have a world that they entered that I want to kind of make better for them. You know, so that's what inspired the Boo Crew.
Who, in your opinion, is the funniest Wayans?
Miss Wayans.
Oh, yes.
My mother.
Matriarch.
My mother's the funniest, and we'll all agree. If you go back in any interview and you ask that question, everybody's gonna say the same thing, because she can't be topped. There was a lot of joke cracking on my dad. My dad got roasted every night. It was so funny that we just had to laugh.
Yeah.
She's brilliant.
The 90s saw an explosion of black sitcoms like Martin, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Living Single, and the UPN era of sitcoms that started in 1995 with shows like Moesha, In the House, and Malcolm and Eddie. These shows featured a diverse mix of friendship and family dynamics across Black America. The 21st century would take us into a new group of iconic series like Girlfriends, Everybody Hates Chris, and a show that would carry on the mantle started by In Living Color, Chappelle's Show.
Good evening and welcome to the first and maybe only racial draft here in New York City.
A show that wasn't afraid to tackle any issue head on, compelling you to laugh through the shock and awe.
We, the white delegation, are very proud to announce our pick this year, Colin Powell.
And we can't talk about sitcoms without mentioning Kenya Barris's Blackish universe, the gold standard of family sitcoms today, approaching issues from the legacy of slavery to the politics of code switching.
You stop saying, know what I mean? Start saying, you know what I mean. Saddest day of my life.
Y'all have done an amazing job of paying tribute to the icons that came before you, the comedic legends, and just paving your own way. How does it feel now to have this new generation of people look at you and your family the same way?
I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think there's something cool about, finding that, person or group of people that you look up to. It gives you hope, and it gives you something to strive for and a path to follow.
Yeah.
It's like they did it. I could do it too.
And y'all do a damn good job at it. So thank you
so
so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
Icons, legends, all of you. Thank you for the imprint you have in the culture. We truly appreciate it.
Thank
so
you for
much.
the support. And do I get some cocoa butter?
Yes, you do. You get a whole year's
You're
supply.
like Oprah
Is that
with
good
cocoa
enough?
butter. You get
You
some
get
cocoa
it.
butter. You
All
get
of
some
it.
cocoa butter. You get, and most of all, I get some cocoa butter.
You can have all the cocoa butter you want. As long as you come back and do this.
Definitely.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you. If nothing else, 90s black sitcoms have stood the test of time. What started out as humor, expression, and dedication grew into a creative revolution for years to come.